Picture this. While philosophy students have spent decades in dusty libraries trying to unlock the secrets of existence, a fat orange cat has been living the ultimate truth right under our noses. Garfield, that lasagna-loving, Monday-hating feline, isn't just a cartoon character. He's accidentally become the perfect example of ancient Chinese wisdom in action. And the crazy part, he's been teaching us how to live better lives this whole time. Part 1. The unlikely sage in our living rooms. Most people see Garfield and think he's a lazy cat with an attitude problem, but what if that's exactly the point? What if Jim Davis, when he created this orange furball back in 1978, tapped into something way deeper than just comic strip gold? Davis wanted to create a character that was selfish, cynical, and completely unapologetic about it. Little did he know he was creating something very relatable to Taoist philosophy. Taoism, for those who might not know, is an ancient Chinese philosophy that's all about going with the flow of life instead of fighting against it. The word Tao basically means the way or the path. It's about finding harmony with the natural order of things, and nobody, and I mean nobody, goes with the flow quite like Garfield. Part 2. The problem with modern living. Here's where things get interesting and a little sad if you really think about it. Most of us wake up every day fighting against our own nature. We force ourselves to be morning people when we're night owls. We pretend to love exercise when we'd rather be reading. We smile at co-workers who drive us crazy. Most of us are stuck in a loop of trying to be better, trying to be faster, trying to be more productive, more attractive, more enlightened. We chase goals like mice in a maze. We're basically living the opposite of who we really are. Meanwhile, Garfield wakes up, acknowledges he hates Mondays, eats what he wants, watches TV like a banana slug, sleeps when he's tired and doesn't apologise for any of it. Who's really living the better life here? Part 3. The Master of Wu Wei. Let's start with the first principle that makes Garfield a secret Taoist master. Wu Wei. This Chinese concept translates to something like non-action or effortless action. It's not about being lazy, though that's what most people think. It's about not forcing things that don't need to be forced. Watch Garfield in any comic strip. Does he chase his food? Nope. He sits by his bowl and gives John that look until dinner appears. Does he run around the yard chasing birds? Please. He lets them come to him, usually while he's napping in a sunny spot. This isn't laziness, it's strategic living. The ancient Taoist sage Lao Tzu wrote about how water conquers rock, not through force, but by flowing around it, finding the easiest path. Garfield has mastered this completely. Why climb the curtains to get attention when knocking something off the coffee table works just as well? Why meow loudly for food when a single judgmental side-eye stare gets John moving twice as fast? Most of us could learn something here. We exhaust ourselves trying to force outcomes instead of creating the right conditions and letting things happen naturally. Garfield knows that the best results come from the least amount of wasted energy. Part 4. Living true to your nature. The second big Taoist idea that Garfield nails is called Ziran, which means living in harmony with your true nature, naturalness. Taoists believe that trying to be something you're not is like swimming upstream, which is exhausting and pointless. Garfield never pretends to be a different kind of cat. He doesn't try to be athletic like those cats in the Olympics or social like dogs. He's fat, he's grumpy, and he couldn't care less what anyone thinks about it. When John puts him on a diet, does Garfield feel shame about his love for food? Not for a second. He finds creative ways to get what he wants anyway. This self-acceptance is actually revolutionary when you think about it. In a world obsessed with self-improvement, thinner, smarter, more productive, and changing who we are, Garfield says, "I am what I am, and that's perfectly fine." He never apologizes for taking up space, literally or figuratively. Jim Davis once said he made Garfield relatable by giving him human flaws and desires, but what he really did was create a character who accepts those flaws completely. That's harder than it sounds. Most of us spend our whole lives fighting parts of ourselves instead of working with them. Part 5. The beauty of simple pleasures. Taoism talks a lot about simplicity and having few desires, but Garfield takes this idea and makes it practical. His world revolves around 3 main things: eating, sleeping, and intermittently tormenting John and Odie. That's it. No complicated goals, no 5-year plans, no anxiety about the meaning of life. But here's what's brilliant about Garfield's approach. He doesn't just want food, he wants the perfect lasagna. He doesn't just want to sleep, he wants the exact right sunny spot on the windowsill. He's simplified his desires, but he's also refined them, quality over quantity every time. Most people think happiness comes from having more stuff or achieving bigger and bigger goals. Garfield proves that happiness comes from knowing exactly what you love and pursuing it without apology. When was the last time you felt as satisfied as Garfield looks after eating a perfect pan of lasagna? Part 6. The perfect balance of opposites. One of the coolest parts of Taoist philosophy is the idea of yin and yang, the balance between opposite forces. The Garfield universe is basically a perfect example of this in action. You've got John, who's neurotic, eager to please, and constantly worried about everything. Then you've got Garfield, who's calm, selfish, and completely unbothered by most things. John provides the anxious energy, Garfield provides the chill energy. Neither one would be as funny without the other. The same goes for Odie. His cheerful dopiness perfectly balances Garfield's intelligent cynicism. Instead of trying to change Odie or get rid of him, Garfield has learned to work with what he's got. Sometimes that means using Odie as a footstool, sometimes it means protecting him from the mailman. It's all about finding harmony, not eliminating the things that annoy you. This is where most of us mess up in real life. We think happiness means getting rid of all the annoying people and difficult situations. Garfield shows us that happiness actually comes from learning to dance with the chaos instead of fighting it. Part 7. Finding your natural rhythm. The last piece of Garfield's accidental wisdom is about following natural cycles and rhythms. Taoists believe that everything in the universe moves in patterns, like seasons or tides, and fighting these patterns just makes you miserable. Garfield's life moves in a beautiful, predictable cycle. The hatred of Mondays, the love of lasagna, the swatting of spiders, the tormenting of John and Odie. This is his cosmic rhythm, and he finds immense comfort in it. His famous hatred of Mondays is deeply philosophical. It's not about a job. Garfield has never held a job in his life. It's about the interruption of his personal Tao. Monday represents a break in his sacred rhythm of leisure. It's the day the natural flow of his perfect weekend is disrupted by the outside world. He is a guardian of his own peaceful rhythm against the chaotic demands of a world that doesn't understand Wu Wei. He teaches us to find comfort in our own rhythms, to protect our peace, and to recognize the things that disrupt our personal flow. Part 8. Wisdom hiding in plain sight. So there you have it. For over 40 years, Garfield has been quietly demonstrating some of the most profound philosophical truths ever discovered, disguised as a simple comic about a cat who loves lasagna. Jim Davis probably never intended to create a Taoist master, but that's exactly what happened. The deepest wisdom often comes from the most unexpected places, usually when we're not looking for it. While we're busy searching for the meaning of life in complicated books and expensive courses, one fat orange cat has been showing us the way all along. The next time you see Garfield sprawled across his favourite chair, completely content with his simple life, remember that he's not just being lazy, he's being enlightened. And maybe, just maybe, we could all learn something from his approach to living. After all, when was the last time you felt as satisfied with life as Garfield looks after a good nap and a perfect meal? Sometimes the best philosophy comes with whiskers and an attitude of catitude.